Hey, what's up guys? My name's Dynasty. What I got for y'all today's again another Mortal Kombat X video. Now today, here are a few predictions for who I think we're going to see inside a Kombat Pack 3 DLC, of course, if a Kombat Pack 3 DLC gets released. For a couple weeks now, it's been rumored, it's been mentioned by Ed Boon himself, so will we see a Kombat Pack 3? As of right now, not entirely too sure, but if we do, here's a pretty small list of characters I think actually have a chance to be inside that Kombat Pack 3 DLC. By no means am I saying 110% confirmed these characters are going to be DLC, but these are characters I believe have a very good chance of anything. So with that said, let's break this down and let's get into it. Now first things first, when I think of DLC, the character that comes to my mind is Fujin. Since the first Kombat Pack 1 DLC, people have been saying Fujin, 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 Fujin. Of course, we see Fujin several times inside the campaign story mode cutscenes. He makes a couple cameo appearances. Not to mention, he's even teased right here in this small little Easter egg in Cassie's Fatality. Bam! Has anyone unlocked Fujin? Now, Ed Boon has mentioned Fujin a couple times, and of course, he has this brand new character design. He has a lot of potential. He's only been inside of 2 Mortal Kombat games, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, of course, Mortal Kombat 4. This game takes place in a brand new timeline, kind of parallel to the Mortal Kombat 4 in the original timeline, so it kind of made sense to see Fujin in this game as playable, but for some reason, he just was not playable inside of Mortal Kombat X, and he's just one of those characters, I think, even dating back to last summer, when the Kombat Pack 2 was announced. I had a voting poll, and you guys tore that voting poll up. We had like 30,000, I think, votes in like 2 or 3 days, and of course, if I'm not mistaken, Fujin was like top 3 characters wanted, so it's pretty clear that the fan demand to see Fujin in Mortal Kombat X is there, and I mean, if NetherRealm Studios continues to give what the fans want, I think it's apparent that Fujin is up there. For what this is worth as well, inside that most recent voting poll made by Boon right here, bam! Fujin wasn't actually part of that voting poll. You couldn't vote for him, and I think it was actually done that way on purpose because NetherRealm Studios or Ed Boon knows that, of course, if Fujin was added there, he would have won by a landslide, hence why somebody actually tweeted this to Boon. We've been begging for Fujin, but you don't even add him to the polls. It's official, you hate Fujin. Of course, Boon's response was, no, please don't make it official. I think this is just Boon trying to play coy and act like, yeah, I definitely hate him. But in reality, I think they know that Fujin, if there is a new DLC, will be included and involved inside. So that's just my personal opinion. I think it's kind of a safe bet to see Fujin as a DLC character. With that said, let's move on to another character I think really has a good chance to be a DLC character. If there is going to be a Kombat Pack 3, that would be none other than the gameplay you're seeing in the background. Of course, Rain, yes. Just like Fujin, he's been a character that's been in demand for quite some time from the community and the fans. He has this whole brand new character design, this brand new look, and for what it's worth as well, back in the day, he was actually scheduled to be part of the main roster, but he didn't actually make the cut. So pretty cool to know that at one point in time, we would have saw Rain on the main roster. Now, for what this is worth as well, I know there's been this statement in the past from Boon who said, okay, I'll never repeat DLC twice back-to-back in games. Of course, Rain was DLC in Mortal Kombat 9. If he was DLC in Mortal Kombat X, it would kind of contradict that statement. Hence why a ton of people always say there's no chance for him to be a DLC. But I think he could be the exception because a month or so ago, with the unfortunate passing of Prince, of course, the artist who actually influenced the design of the character Rain, Ed Boon did retweet this tweet right here. Check it out. Bam! I wonder if Ed Boon and NetherRealm Studios are now thinking about making Rain playable in Mortal Kombat X as a tribute to the legend that was taken from us. Now, if NetherRealm Studios did actually include Rain to be like a tribute character to Prince, it wouldn't be the first time because the rumor on the street is the reason why Leatherface was actually included inside the Kombat Pack 2 DLC was to pay some tribute to, of course, Gunnar Hansen, the guy who actually did play the Leatherface role back in the day. So hey, would it be really too far-fetched? We've seen them already have one tribute character for a guest character in the game. Why not have a tribute character to somebody who actually belongs in the series like Rain? So that's just my 2 cents. I think with the fan demand, the tribute to the late great Prince, Rain inside the Kombat Pack 3 DLC really isn't too crazy to think of. So don't be too surprised if you do see Fujin or Rain or both of these characters involved inside a Kombat Pack 3 DLC. Moving on to another character I think has a pretty good chance is none other than Noob Saibot. Yes, Noob himself. The reason why I'm saying this is because of this. Bam! Inside that Ed Boon voting poll, Noob actually won with 45% of the votes. That's a pretty ridiculous margin to win by. Not to mention, I think even last summer inside my Kombat Pack 2 voting poll, I think Noob did like top 5 as well. So the demand, like Rain, like Fujin, has also been there for Noob Saibot. Not to mention as well, back in Mortal Kombat Mobile, he actually has his appearance right here. Bam! He looks pretty sick, so if we do see Noob inside the Kombat Pack 3 DLC, he's probably going to be rocking a costume very similar to what was inside of Mortal Kombat X Mobile. It looks pretty awesome, but yes, I do think Noob has a pretty good chance. Like I said, the fan demand, like Fujin, like Rain, of course, the most recent voting poll, he won by a landslide victory there, so I do think Noob does have a pretty good chance. He's also referenced a couple times inside of a couple intros. Apparently, he's calling for Sub-Zero on the other side, like the Adele song. So, yeah, very interesting stuff. We've not seen Noob since he disappeared in that Soldado back in Mortal Kombat 9. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry. But, yeah, Noob Saibot has a pretty good chance as well. Last but not least, here's the final character I think actually has a pretty good chance of being inside the Kombat Pack 3 DLC if there is one. None other than basing this off of the most recent voting poll for the females, Jade. Yes, Jade won by 37% of the vote. Not too bad. Of course, second place there would be Scarlet, third would be Sindel, fourth would be Shiva. Shiva is a very interesting add to that voting poll. But yes, Jade is a character that we've also not seen since Mortal Kombat 9. The fan demand to see her in this game has been there for quite some time. There's only one drawback that kind of has me on the fence here because you guys probably do know this. If you use that one variation of Katana, it's very similar to, of course, using Jade's staff. It's kind of based off of Jade's character. So that still has me, you know, 50-50 for characters to select here. So I think one half is going to be Jade. I think the other half, though, can very well be Sindel. Yes, of course, we see Sindel making her appearance a couple times inside the campaign. She's also an NPC character. She has a brand new costume. She also killed like half of the Mortal Kombat 9 roster inside the story mode in that game. So seeing her not playable in this game, just it's kind of weird, you know what I mean? She is mentioned inside that Ed Boon voting poll for the females. She got third place. Not second, not first, but I mean, she was still mentioned as a fighter that we miss inside of MKXL by Boon, so that has to count for something. So it's a toss-up for me with the females between Jade and Sindel. Both kind of make sense at this point in time, but guys, that is my whole opinion right now. We got Noob, we got Fujin, we got Rain, and of course for the females, I'm kind of in a weird toss between Jade and Sindel. This is just who I think has a pretty good chance to be inside a Kombat Pack 3 DLC, if there is a Kombat Pack 3 DLC. By no means has it been confirmed yet, it's just been talked about and teased. So with that said, who do you think has the best chance to be inside a Kombat Pack 3 DLC if there is one? Let me know your thoughts and opinions inside the comment section below. Till next time, I've been host, I've been Dynasty. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like on it, and of course subscribe for some more Injustice, Mortal Kombat, and just gaming content here on the channel. See you guys later. Peace.